Hello everybody, this is Colton. I am building a career in IT and I am sharing everything that I learned to help you grow in yours. Today's assignment is going to be 3.3.12 Packet Tracer. We're going to configure a VLAN today. Background just says that VLANs are helpful in administration of logical groups and allows members of a group to be easily moved, changed, or added. We have three objectives. We're going to verify the VLAN configuration, configure the VLANs, and assign VLANs to ports. Step 1 is display the current VLANs. On S1 we issue the show VLAN brief command to see all VLANs configured. It's saying notice that these PCs can ping PCs that are in the same subnet, but pings to hosts on other networks fail. So these devices straight across from each other would actually be able to communicate. However, they would not communicate with those that are not straight across from each other. It asks us what benefits can VLANs provide to a network. The benefits are logical segmentation. This limits broadcast domains, which means that devices in one VLAN cannot communicate with other VLAN devices unless you specifically configure them to do this. You can separate departments to reduce unnecessary traffic as well. This can improve your network performance and is also just a good idea to configure for security. So we're going to get on to step 1 and part 2. We're going to create and name the VLANs on S1. So we're going to get into here and get into our configure terminal, create VLAN 10, which is named faculty/staff. VLAN 20 is students. VLAN 30 is named guest/default in parentheses. And VLAN 99 is named management @native. We're going to go into VLAN 150, which is going to be named voice in all caps. Alright, so we have those configured on S1. Now it asks us what command will only display the VLAN name, status, and associated ports on a switch. That is the show VLAN brief command that we ran earlier. And now we have to do the same commands from step 1 to create and name the same VLANs on S2 and S3. So we're going to do the same thing we just did on S1 on these other devices as well. So that is done. We will now assign the VLANs to ports. In this step we configure the interfaces as access ports and assign the VLANs as follows. It's going to be VLAN 10 is going to have the interface F0/11. So we get into that interface and we run the switch port mode access. So this just changes it. So this is an access port and we change it so that it has access to VLAN 10. And we are going to configure these interfaces as well to their corresponding VLANs. So you're going to run the same kind of commands, just make sure to change the name and the number to which the fast Ethernet interfaces are going to be configured to have access to. Okay. So now we will be assigning VLANs to the active ports on S3. We're going to do a similar thing to what we just did on S2 over here on S3. We're going to get into fast Ethernet 0/11 and switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 10, interface F0/18 is going on VLAN 20, and F0/6 will go onto VLAN 30. Okay, there we go. So the third step on this one is assign the voice VLAN to fast Ethernet 0/11 on S3. It says, as shown in the topology, the S3 fast Ethernet 0/11 interface connects to a Cisco IP phone and PC4, as we can see here. The IP phone contains an integrated 3-port 10/11 switch. One port on the phone is labeled switch and connects to F0/4. Another port on the phone is labeled PC and connects to PC4. The IP phone also has an internal port that connects to the IP phone functions. The S3 F0/11 interface must be configured to support user traffic to PC4 using VLAN 10 and voice traffic to the IP phone using VLAN 150. The interface must also enable QoS, which is quality of service, and trust the class of service values assigned by the IP phone. IP voice traffic requires a minimum amount of throughput to support acceptable voice communication quality. This command helps the switch port to provide this minimum amount of throughput. So we're going to run these commands on switch 3 so that we can give access to this phone here and put it in its own VLAN. So we go into interface F0/11, we're going to run MLS QoS trust COS, and then switch port voice VLAN 150. Okay, so on step 4, we will now verify the loss of connectivity. Previously, PCs that shared the same network could ping each other successfully. Study the output from the following command on S2 and answer the following questions based on your knowledge of communication between VLANs. Pay close attention to the gigabyte 0/1 port assignment. So on S2 over here, we will run the show VLAN brief, and we just assure that these are set to the correct VLANs. VLAN 10 has the F0/11, 20 has F0/18, and 30 has F0/6. Alrighty, now we just try pinging between PC1 and PC4, these ones opposing, and we're gonna see that these will not be communicating. It asks us, although the access ports are assigned to the appropriate VLANs, were the pings successful? They were not successful because they are not configured to speak to each other over VLANs. What you can do to resolve this issue is use a layer 3 switch or router for inter-VLAN routing, and configure router on a stick with sub-interfaces. You can also make switch virtual interfaces on a layer 3 switch, and that's how you would resolve that issue. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and you learned something. I thank you for watching, and if you're also working towards a career in IT, then stick around because this channel will help you improve your skills. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to study hard. I will see you guys in the next video.